She screamed into the phone demanding 20 police cars and a SWAT team, swearing I was some dangerous man attacking her son. What she didn't know, what nobody in that grocery store knew, was that every single one of those officers she called for reported directly to me. And when the truth came out, when she finally realized who she was messing with, her entire world collapsed in front of the cameras. It started on what should have been a perfectly normal Thursday. I was at Fresh Mart minding my own business, waiting in line with a cart full of groceries, organic vegetables, some meat ice cream. I didn't want melting too soon. 2 weeks earlier, I'd moved into Oakwood Estates, a shiny, supposedly exclusive neighborhood. I kept it quiet that I was the newly appointed police chief. I wore jeans and a t-shirt, nothing to tip anyone off. I wanted to get a feel for this place as just another neighbor. Then I felt a hand snatch my bag of tomatoes right off the belt. I turned to see this smirking 16-year-old kid, pale, entitled, with that look you only get when no one's ever told you no. He sneered. "People like you don't need this fancy stuff. Stick to the regular aisles." My years of training kept me calm. I extended my hand, steady voice. "Son, those are mine. Give them back." Instead, he stumbled backward like I'd pulled a gun, clutching my tomatoes to his chest, yelling, "Mom, help! He's attacking me!" Heads turned. Some shoppers shook their heads at the performance, but then she arrived, his mother, Patricia Thompson. You could hear her before you saw her heels clacking voice like a siren. She came rushing down the aisle, shrieking, "Get away from my baby," and instantly pulled out her phone. I stood there while she barked into 911, voice trembling with fake tears. "There's a dangerous man here about 6 feet threatening my teenage son. Send backup." No, not 5 cars, 20, and SWAT too. People whipped out their phones recording. I pulled mine out too, recording her hysteria, word for word. I told her calmly, "Ma'am, your son took my groceries and called me names. I asked for them back." She turned on me, face red, eyes blazing. "Shut up. People like you are always playing the victim. I run this neighborhood, I'm head of the HOA board, and you'll regret setting foot in this store." I'll never forget this moment. I said casually, "Oh, Oakwood Estates. That's funny. I just moved there 2 weeks ago." The color drained right out of her face. She stammered, That's impossible. I would know." Tyler dropped my tomatoes onto the conveyor, one splattering on the floor, and they stormed out. But Patricia hissed as she dragged him away. "This isn't over. The police will be here any minute and you'll be sorry." That night, when she pulled into her driveway across from mine, she froze like she'd seen a ghost. I waved pleasantly. "Beautiful evening, isn't it, neighbor?" Her grocery bags tumbled, cans rolling across her perfect lawn. That's when the real war began. At 2 in the morning, her house blasted music so loud it rattled my windows. I watched her live stream, shrieking, "This is what happens when the wrong element moves in." By 3, eggs were hitting my front door. By 4, her dogs tore up my flower beds while she stood on her porch, fake calling them back, filming herself like she was some tragic heroine. She thought she was creating plausible deniability. What she didn't realize was that my cameras, real ones hidden in plain sight, were capturing every detail. The next day, she marched across the street in her silk robe, spat at me. "You don't belong here. We have standards. I'll make your life hell until you leave." I smiled, watering my plants like nothing was wrong. "Ma'am, you already started. Please continue. I'm documenting everything." Her eyes darted to the camera by my door. She laughed. "You think one little camera's gonna save you that night?" Tyler smashed it with a bat and spray-painted the vilest words across my garage. He even filmed himself doing it, bragging online. Too bad that camera was a decoy. The real ones were hidden, recording from every angle. Soon after, a neighbor whispered to me, "She's driven 3 families out in 2 years, all minorities. Be careful. She's meaner than she looks." That's when I knew Patricia wasn't just some nuisance, she was a predator. Her next move was an HOA emergency meeting. She sent out flyers, called it the Marcus problem. I sat quietly in the back while she clicked through slides of blurry photos of me watering plants, accusing me of being a threat. She even showed edited footage chopped to make me look like a stalker. I motioned to remove him from our neighborhood, she cried. A dozen hands went up. The rest sat uneasy. Then I stood, walked to the front, and said, "Fair's fair. If Patricia can show evidence, so can I." I plugged in my phone. The room watched Tyler stealing my groceries, Patricia screaming for 20 police cars. Crystal clear audio. Gasps rippled. Then the footage of Tyler vandalizing my property while Patricia watched from her porch. The slurs, the bat, the spray paint. The room erupted. People shouted. One man bolted for the door, muttering about diversity policies at his company. Patricia screeched, "It's fake AI entrapment," but her supporters slunk away ashamed. The HOA president, sweating bullets, said, "Patricia, these are crimes. The HOA could be liable." Still, the campaign against me got worse. Online posts calling me a drug dealer, a criminal. Fake articles she tried to bribe bloggers to write. And then the lowest blow, my car spray-painted, "Go back where you came from." A dead rat left on my doorstep. That was the night I almost broke. I sat in my office staring at a picture of my late wife. "You always told me to take the high road," I whispered. "But how long can one man keep walking it when someone's shoving him off the cliff?" I was tired of the lies, the hatred, the constant attacks. For a moment I wondered if she was winning, if maybe I should step back, transfer to another district, let it go. But then my phone buzzed. My deputy warning me city council was considering suspending me because of her pressure. That was it. No more hiding, no more waiting. I texted back, "Press conference. Tomorrow. City Hall." Patricia thought she'd won. She told her friends, "The chief's going to expose him tomorrow. Bring signs." She was practically giddy. She had no idea. City Hall was packed. Reporters, cameras, neighbors, even the mayor. Patricia sat in the front row with her entourage folder of evidence clutched like a trophy. The podium read, "Police Chief Marcus Washington." She didn't even register the name. When I walked out in full-dress uniform, medals gleaming, the press rose to attention. Patricia leapt up, shrieking, "That's him! Arrest him!" Security moved, but I waved them off. I walked straight past her, stepped to the microphone, and said, "Good afternoon. I'm here to address some concerning incidents in Oakwood Estates." Patricia went red, screaming, "He's impersonating an officer! Stop him! Where's the chief?" I looked right at her, reached into my jacket and pulled out my badge, setting it down with a loud thud that echoed through the hall. "You wanted to speak to the chief? Well, I am the chief. Chief of every single officer you demanded that night." The room exploded. Reporters gasped. Cameras flashed. Someone shouted. She called the cops on the chief. Patricia's face drained. Her knees buckled, and she fainted, collapsed in a heap of designer fabric. Tyler panicked, tried to run, tripped and face-planted in front of everyone. His fall was caught on a dozen phones destined to go viral. I didn't stop. The lights dimmed, and I played the evidence on the screen. Tyler's videos, Patricia coaching him, the vandalism, the phone calls where she offered bribes, the 911 recording of her hysterical demand for 20 cars. The audience watched in stunned silence. When the lights came back on, every eye was on Patricia as paramedics loaded her onto a stretcher. Her son sat cuffed, sobbing, "Mom, you said we owned this town. You said the cops would take our side." The young officer leading him out muttered, "Kid, nobody owns Chief Washington." I leaned down as they wheeled Patricia past semi-conscious and whispered, "Ma'am, you literally called 20 cops on their own boss. Now you've got our full attention." And just like that, her empire of control collapsed. Her job gone, her HOA power stripped, her reputation shredded. The woman who thought she ruled Oakwood Estates ended up being the punchline of a global joke. Never assume you know who you're messing with.